Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back to Irietalks. And today I'm joined by two of my friends. These are two girls that I've done a move for actually in the past when I first started out. And yeah, they're just smash life, to be honest. Every time I'm like on Instagram and I see stuff going on, I'm like, no, they do so well. I'm always commenting like, just chill out, guys, because honestly, they make me feel like I'm not doing enough. But without saying any more, welcome Georgia and Shanika from Outsculpted.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for having us.
It's okay. How are you guys today? How are you feeling?
Yeah, good.
Busy.
Yeah.
Busy.
It's busy.
This is our busiest season.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that from like the back end of the year then?
Winter is just lock-in season, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
People get real about fitness.
Yeah, it's for like is it the summer arc? Is that what it's
Winter
called?
arc.
Winter arc for the summer bod.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
yes,
sister's
winter
always
bodies
banging
built
on.
in the summer. And no, summer bodies built in the winter.
Yeah. Okay. So when I was saying the intro, I was like, you guys are always just doing stuff. Quickly, run club.
Mm.
Do you want to quickly touch on that? Because I saw on Instagram that you've got a run club now. It's coming.
Yeah, so this is something new to Outsculpted. We really wanted to do something that was community focused, something outside of the studios
Yeah.
where we can all come together and just have a bit of fun, but still be in touch with wellness
Yeah.
and
Okay.
stuff like that. So yeah, coming next month, 9th of November, every first Sunday
Okay.
moving forward. So it should be really fun, no pressure. It's not about pace, it's not about PBs,
Yeah.
it's just about moving your body.
Okay.
And I think that's something that I've not seen yet with run clubs. I think most of them are very like Strava
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
trying to be like a sub 5:30 pace
I
and
know.
all of that. So this is just about the enjoyment.
Okay, we'll touch a bit on that after. Actually, I've got a question about that. But you said that it's a addition to Outsculpted. What is Outsculpted?
So we started the business 20 months ago. We saw a bit of a gap we saw a massive gap in the market in
Yeah.
Leeds. We basically were travelling to Manchester to do Reformer Pilates. So it was very, very new at the time. Wasn't being done really in the north apart from one studio in Manchester that we felt aligned to. So we decided, well, after a couple of glasses of wine on my birthday,
Nice.
as everybody
Always.
knows the story, we decided to just take the leap. We did some numbers. It looked good. And Shanika and I have always, ever since we met, which was only 3.5 years ago, ever since we met, we sort of have always wanted more for ourselves.
Yeah.
And we wanted more for the community of Leeds as well. And
Yeah.
that's very like airy-fairy, but we
This is
genuinely
actually
did.
facts, yeah.
Yeah.
And we wanted something for people like us, people that were serious about wellness, people that were serious about self-improvement, etc., etc. And we wanted to create a space for them in Leeds so they didn't have to travel to Manchester like we did.
Yeah, and I think then came the idea of Outsculpted, which our name actually comes from two of our businesses that Georgia and I set up way back when, it feels like. But I used to do lashes and Georgia used to do brows. And my business was called Outlashed by S and Georgia was called Sculpted Brows. So we merged the two names to create Outsculpted. A lot of people ask, like, was it just plucked from thin air? But it made so much sense.
But there was we never discussed another name.
No, we were literally just sat there and I was like, okay, Outlashed by S, Sculpted. How about Outsculpted?
Yeah.
And we just went with it and
Yeah.
it worked. And we love it so much. But yeah, I mean, like Georgia said, we were one of the first group reformer studios in Leeds. And since then, it has been an absolute movement. And I think we're circa 15 studios now within a 3-mile
You've got to
radius.
take credit for that, honestly. I know it's not something you guys will probably do.
No.
Just being like business honest, you don't really like to pat yourself on the back because there's always more to be done, isn't there? But don't just put that aside because as you've said, you're one of the first ones here. So you've genuinely like motivated other people, even if you want to see it as just motivation and showing people that you can do it. Because this is what this podcast is about. It's showing people that when you feel like you're stuck, you can actually do it. And people might have had this idea from ages ago and they've just been sleeping on it. And then you guys came together and you've made it happen. So,
And I think because of our age as well, I think that was a real talking point for people when we first opened.
It still is now.
Yes.
think people find it crazy almost when they see our faces, because obviously, fortunately, we don't look old. But people are like, oh my God, like, how old are you guys? Because what you have built is amazing. I think it's when we get those comments that we're like, oh God, yeah, like we are in our early 20s and we've done this. And people know who we are. So yeah, it is a proud moment, definitely.
So where's your studio located? The one in town? Obviously, I know where it is.
You've
But for
been.
people I've been.
So it's just it's at the bottom part of town. It's just opposite the it's New York Street car park.
Yes, it's just near Kirkgate Markets.
So it's in a nice sort of central spot. And then Heat by Outsculpted, which is obviously our new concept, that is just outside the Leeds City Centre. It's on Roseville Road. It's literally a 4-minute drive from our other studio.
You just actually touched on my next question, which was, did you always think you're going to expand or like have that in mind? Or was that just like, ooh?
No.
Well, we didn't even know we were going to open a Pilates studio until we opened a Pilates studio. We did one Pilates class and then we were sold. So I think, our first 9 months of business were just like, oh shit, like, yeah, we're doing this. Oh gosh, yeah, we have that business that we're running alongside our 2 full-time jobs. Yeah, cool. And then it was like December last year and it was downtime, as it is in December. But for me and Georgia, that's when our brains start going, what's next? What's next? What's next? And I think, again, we were sat over maybe a bottle of wine.
Yeah, we've upgraded to a bottle. Instead of a
it wasn't a glass, it was now a bottle.
A common theme.
And we had just finished the 75 hard. And that was like our challenge of last year. And then we were kind of like, okay, like what's next? Feeling a bit lost. So we pondered on the thought for a while. It came into January and we were like, no, seriously, what is next?
What is going to happen after like 20 holidays as well?
Yeah.
Well,
our reformer studio, she's like the golden child. She was running herself. We had our repeat clients. We thought, okay, let's start again. But we don't want another reformer studio because there are so many.
Yeah.
We both wanted to do hot Pilates. So we were like, let's open a hot Pilates studio. And then came the idea of Heat by Outsculpted.
Okay.
Yeah, it was I think for Shanika and I, things move really quickly in life. Like we don't ever really plan anything, I wouldn't say.
No.
So it was another one of those things, kind of like we always love to act on impulse. Now that's obviously as a business owner, isn't it? It's not always the best thing to do.
Yeah, of course.
However, it has worked out for us so far. So we are very pleased about that. But yeah, it was definitely born out of a place of, as all of our ideas are, a place of like, we just get really itchy.
Yeah. And I think like to elaborate on that, it's like, yes, we do act out of impulse, but like we will have subconsciously had the thoughts for so long. Yeah, we make calculated moves. So like, I think as soon as we both kind of were like hot Pilates, we were like, do you know what's weird? Like I've been thinking that for a while.
We do this with everything.
And then it's like, then we'll be like, okay, here's the idea. Let's just figure out whether or not we can execute it. And then it's like, okay, we'll do research. We'll be like, okay, yeah, this is a plan that we can actually execute. This is what it can look like in reality. And then we're like, okay, boom, let's act. And I think that's where like from the outside in, it looks like we just sort of like have a conversation and then we're open. We're like, here's our new studio. But there is so much like you say, like calculated thought that goes into it. But luckily with us, like most of the time we don't even have to speak. We just sort of know exactly what the other one's thinking.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a time where like you've one of you guys have had like what's the word for it? Because like I have like social media blocks sometimes where I can't actually open my phone. And I'm like, Instagram's just putting me off. But that's where I need to be to like market myself. How do you guys help each other without sounding like you have to do this? You know?
I think it's weird because I've never known two people that can be on their phone so much and not get bogged down with it all. Like my whole life is on my phone. I think that we do have those moments maybe with our personal social media. But at that point, we're just kind of like, yeah, it is what it is, whatever. But when it comes to the business, I think we're quite good at compartmentalizing that, so it doesn't feel like a burden.
No, no, and I think like it's weird that you say that. I've literally recently come off for a little while just to sort of see where the land lies. Like for us, obviously,
Touch some grass.
reconnect with nature for a while.
Yeah, literally.
But for us, obviously, we've still got the businesses. Like, and then I feel like I can then, I mean, obviously, you do most of the social media at the moment, but we do bring the ideas together. But I think that it allows you to just sort of get into that flow state when you do go on it. So if you know what you're going on there for, if you're not just aimlessly going on social media, you can then control your thoughts around it. Exactly. And what you're actually consuming, I guess, as well. And like there'll be times like we love TikTok.
I love TikTok.
We adore TikTok.
Gosh.
Like it is just such a calming, soothing situation. But you have to say, okay, so for example, I've got 10 minutes today that I am going to allow myself to do that. And I think it's when the guilt comes into it that it starts to feel bad.
Yeah.
So if you can just sort of give yourself enough grace to be like, okay, I'm going to actually like, I'm going to doom scroll for a while. Like,
and it's fine. Like I'm so comfortable with being Gen Z now.
Yeah.
Like I'm so comfortable with being like, I love my phone.
Okay,
I love it.
I was going to ask you
love
what you meant by
social
that.
media.
Yeah.
And I genuinely couldn't do without my
she
phone.
could not live in another.
No, I couldn't.
Not.
I'm so comfortable with saying that. Whereas before I'd be a bit like, oh God, like I don't associate with Gen Z. Yeah. No, I really do. And I think it's fine. Like there is so much that you can learn from social media if, like Georgia says, you're consuming the right things.
Yeah.
It's as soon as you start like interacting with the wrong things that then becomes like the, oh my God, social media is horrendous and I hate it here and it becomes all draining. But no, I love it over here.
yeah, I think it's what you said there as well. It's just having boundaries with yourself, isn't it?
100%.
I have a lot of people that ask like, how do I do it? Because I have 3 Instagrams and I'm quite active on all 3 of them. My like private Instagram, I like to like post my stuff, and then obviously my painting and decorating, and then this. And I do find it sometimes I can't like manage to pick up a phone. But as you said, when it comes to the business side, it's like it's automatic. I don't feel like it's kind of a force. So I think it goes back to what I had a conversation with my last guest. It goes back to like when you really like something or love what you do, it doesn't actually feel like pressure at all, does it at all?
No, not at all. And I think that naturally, like my personal social media might as well be the business social media. My entire Explore page is filled with Pilates content or wellness content. My TikTok is usually Pilates or wellness. I've got the odd one and two, other videos that pop up here and there, but my whole life is essentially the business or something that will help put the business on the right trajectory or put myself on the right trajectory. So I try to make sure that my algorithms are speaking in the right ways for me.
Is that like you trying to put yourself in the best position to like upskill and better yourself, or is it just you being an obsessive person in that way where if you're doing something it's all you kind of do?
I think it's a bit of both. Yeah, I think it's a bit of both. Georgia probably will elaborate on it better than I do, but I think that personal development is something that is massive for both of us in really different different ways. So I think there's definitely the first part, but then the latter is that for both of us, like this is our everything. Like so it's kind of like we want to be part of that percentage that do make it past the 3-year mark, and we will do everything to be there. So we have to be completely and utterly obsessed with it, and that's exactly what we are. Like I dream about Outsculpted. I wake up in the morning and I think about it. Like I think 80% of our conversations are about Outsculpted, and it never feels draining because it is just our one obsession in life.
When we're starting a business, we all have like a moment where we just think, actually, is this the route I want to go down? Like, gosh, like, we all have it. I've given a lot of examples of mine, and I've even had a recent one, which we just spoke about off cam, and I was like, do I continue after this? I'm like, what do I do now? But first of all, what was your moment? And secondly, what made you like push through? What was the driving force?
I think we've had, very similar to yourself, we've had lots of moments. Several. We've had loads of moments. I think the first one was definitely like, so we took out a loan, a personal loan for business use initially. And I think when we signed on that dotted line, signed for the lease, realised that we hadn't read the lease.
Yeah.
And
we had no knowledge of
and we'd
commercial
actually
lease.
undershot how much we needed to pay by like a lot.
Okay.
And
we had to pay 100% more.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Like,
So you got...
It wasn't even like a few £100s. No. Like,
No.
we thought we needed to pay half, but we didn't.
No.
So that was definitely like, okay. Cool. Bearing in mind, like, we didn't really have any savings either.
No. We both had jobs.
Yeah.
Like, just normal jobs.
Just normal jobs. So that was fun. And then I think me and Shanika and I have I can speak for myself. I can't speak for you, but I can. We have a big fear of failure.
Oh, massive.
So that is genuinely, like, I think what pushes us through. Like, for example, we bought the first beds, which obviously you saw. We bought the second beds because the first beds weren't sufficient. That was another reinvestment, like, before we'd made a penny, basically.
Yeah.
So that was more money and more. And obviously when you're young, that's really stressful.
It is, because that's all you see really at the start, isn't it?
That's the only reason you start a business.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying at the start, is for financial gain.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you're like, oh my God, I thought I was meant to be a millionaire by now.
I've just done the thing. Like, why has it not worked?
I incorporated on Company's House. Like,
where So yeah, I think for us, like, that's probably what fuels our push.
Yeah.
Is that we don't want to fail.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I said it last night, that we won't fail. We'll never fail. Like,
no.
Because,
we'll just change direction.
Exactly. Like, we have the durability that most people probably don't. And that's not a bad thing. It's just what makes you different.
Yeah.
And that's 100%. When you kind of know that, okay, I probably am cut out for this.
Exactly. Because you probably can't do a minute of some things that other people can do. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
What you just said something quickly. You just said, like, you really scared of failing. What stops you from trying new stuff then? Like, what's your fear?
I think that we are scared of failure, but it doesn't necessarily stop us from trying new things. I think it just adds to how calculated we are before we do make moves.
Okay.
So as much as we are quite risk averse, we are still we're still like, we do still like think about things and sort of calculate best and worst case scenario, which, don't get me wrong, sometimes, just do the thing and see what happens. But, in our case, when there is investment on the line and there is the longevity of a business that's already been built, you do have to be a bit more tactical with what you say yes to and what you say no to, because it can't be at the detriment of what you've already built. So I think there's a fine line between, like, being scared of trying something new and just, like, calculating the risk before you jump both feet in, because, like, we're getting old now. There's things on the line. Like, it's not just, back when it was me doing lashes, Georgia doing brows, it's not just, should I do this other course and, upskill myself? It is, oh no, we have built a brand that has, 20 months behind it and X, Y, Z.
Yep.
Like, we can't just jump at everything, because then it diminishes your brand reputation. You start to become diluted in the market. And, like, the main thing for us is that we want to have a really solid brand identity. And the more you sort of put one foot here and, you put your hand in all these different pies, it's kind of like, whoa, like, what the hell is Outsculpted? Because I'm seeing you everywhere. So I think, like, to answer your question, we're not scared of trying new things, but we are very sure of wanting to build a reputable brand. And I think by trying too many new things, it then just
kind of diminishes.
Exactly. So I think it's just being really careful about how many new things you try.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I try to tailor my questions to, like, a lot of different range of guests, right? Because not everyone that's watching this has got a business plan or wants to start a business, but some people might want to start, like, a side hobby. And they might think, I need to leave my main job to actually make money from this. So it's just about being calculated and kind of thinking, if I do leave this, can I survive? Can I pay these bills? Can I do that? And
I wouldn't be too quick to jump and do it. I think that there's a lot of people, there's a lot of talk, there's a lot of, like, hustle culture, for example, that's like, take the risk, like, leave the thing. And I think that doesn't like the two don't have to be mutually exclusive.
Exactly.
Like you can run a successful business and have another job.
100%.
That's
You
what I
just
still have a job.
This
Do
is
you know what I mean?
same,
Like I still work
genuinely.
now.
I think it's just about like taking that sacrifice. Like in order to have a successful business, whether you quit your job or not, like you aren't going to sleep at night. Like, so it's kind of like whether you like it or not, like you're not just going to wake up and be able to start your day at 11 and go to a coffee shop and lounge around. Like I don't do Pilates. We own 2 studios, like, and I've been really fortunate to be able to step away from the traditional corporate world of 9 to 5.
Yeah.
However, that doesn't mean that I've got like all the time in my day to do everything. Like I think people need to see it for what it actually is. Like if you are genuinely wanting to start a successful business, you need to be able to to sacrifice certain things, and you can't expect it to just be this CEO lifestyle or whatever they might say. Like it doesn't exist straight away, and the two aren't mutually exclusive. Like you said, like you don't get the reward without the sacrifice. You just don't get it. Like I don't believe in work-life balance, and that's quite controversial, but genuinely it doesn't exist unless, I think in our case, like we've got each other, but like there isn't a moment where we can both be switched off. I think this year's been the first year where we've both been able to go on holidays and the other one can say to like, so I've been away and George will be like, don't worry, I've got it. Or George has been away and I'm like, don't worry, I've got it. But if we are going away together, like we're not switched off, we're on a work trip.
Yeah. You guys work when you're away? Like
all the time. All the time. I went away for the first time without my laptop this year and my heart was palpitating.
Yeah, it's only because she can do everything from her phone with her new booking system.
Where is it?
Don't it's not heroic.
They don't need to know that. But no, I think, we work all the time.
Yeah.
But
like that is like, we enjoy that.
Yeah.
And if you genuinely don't enjoy working, like don't own a business.
Yeah, it's not going to be any better.
I promise you it's going to be worse. Like, or you will just fail.
Yeah.
Like hands down. And I think that like, I literally, and you're the same, like I can't, so at the weekend, for example, like I'm trying to relax, I'm just like stood there like, okay, but what now?
Yeah.
Like if I'm not consistently working on something, it's just painful.
You see it as a waste of time, innit? Because majority of the time you're making money in that time. So when I'm not, I'm like, I could be making money now.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to lie, like still to this day, probably 80% of my driving force is the financial side of it. I actually love doing this podcast.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm not making money from this yet, but it's something I like to do.
Yeah.
I never wanted to do like painting or removing or anything, but it's just stuff that I can get stuck in, and I like grafting, so I'll just do it.
Yeah.
And now it's like now I'm at the stage where when I'm not doing that and I'm chilling around, I'm like, I could be doing a move right now, or I could be doing this, or I could be doing that. Actually, I've got to apologize to you guys on camera.
Here we go.
Because so these lovely 2 girls invited me to a content session once. You remember?
Oh my gosh, we did.
And I turned up late, so I'm so sorry for that, honestly.
Do you know what? I thought you were going to apologise for missing the opening of our second studio.
No, you haven't let me finish. You haven't let me finish. So there's 3 things. And then, they had like an opening night, and I came and like I helped move the beds and everything. I was like,
forgot about that one.
Yeah, exactly.
That was our first birthday.
Exactly. This is the first birthday, then I came back late. That was bad.
Everyone was gone.
Everyone was gone. I helped back away though. I'm not giving myself credit for stuff I shouldn't. And then for the opening party, I missed it. But anyway, so guys, I'm really sorry about that.
No, we appreciate it.
No,
we forgive
honestly,
you.
I'll always be here for you guys. You know that.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, before I move on to the final question, I just wanted to do a big shout out to my sponsor, Keep Me Young, for this episode. Actually, something that you guys can probably actually look into as well. You can see the supplements on the side, but they have Zen chocolate that's very relaxing after a long exercise or training session. If you drink it, it will relax you out. They've got coffee for focused and helps with ADHD and other stuff like that. The link will be in the bio, and they've got a lot of different products that you should look into. And if you use my code, you'll get 15% off. So jump on that. So quickly, if I wanted to start a company and I'm sitting at home and I'm like, oh, I want to be like these two amazing girls, like I've got this plan and I just don't know how to start and I want to have this and I want to have that and now they've got a run club, oh my gosh. What would you tell them? What would you tell them that you think would actually make them go, you know what, let's try it? Or try to motivate them? How would you do that?
I've got two things.
Yeah.
Don't believe everything you see on the internet. No, and I mean that so seriously.
No, genuinely.
No, because seriously, like, don't believe everything you see on the internet. Like,
Is that like the glamorization of stuff? Or
100%.
Okay.
And it's like, don't get me wrong, like, we try to keep it real, but sometimes even when you know that the real side will help someone else, like, it's still your life and you're sort of living it. So it's hard to share everything, but just remember, like, you are only seeing a fraction of what it actually takes to become whoever it is you aspire to be. So just like for all the good, just balance that out with 75% that might not look so good, and that's fine. And then something that I actually took from a podcast that I listened to a while ago, but it really resonates with me, is like, see everything in thirds, like see life in thirds. So it's like a third of it, you will be bouncing off the walls. You will be so elated, so excited, all the positive emotions you can feel. A third of it will be very boring. A third of it, you'll just think, whatever, meh, very flat. And then a third of it, you will think, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I doing this? I hate it here. But like, just lean into every third, because sometimes I feel all of that in one day. And I think that is what it means to be a business owner, whether you're in that startup phase, whether you are, you know, a tenured business owner or entrepreneur. Just lean into those thirds and know that even the billionaires still have to live all three of those things. So those would be my two things. Don't believe everything you see on the internet, and live your life in thirds and lean into it.
Amazing. I like that.
My one piece of advice that I actually don't remember where I heard this originally, but it's something that changed my perspective and moved me from being kind of like a lazy person, I'll be really honest, and like a bit of a victim to
mindset kind of
where I am now, is that if nothing changes, then nothing changes. And like, I just used to repeat that to myself every morning until it just became my being. Like, and I have always embodied that. And like, I've always said it to people. It's my like one piece of advice of like, you don't like where you are. If you're going to continue to do the same things, you can expect the same results.
The same results. That's, if nothing changes, nothing changes is actually on the top of my tops. So when the boys are painting, it's actually in a circle.
Nice.
That exactly what I love it. Honestly.
It's like the best.
It's that simple if nothing changes.
And I think the more simple it is, the more impactful it like has to be, because it's not difficult.
Exactly.
And you can apply it everywhere. My other one that I love that you say is, if you can't change the people, change the people. And that can apply to yourself as well, though. Like,
literally.
If you can't embody the person that you aspire to be, or, you know, you see this successful version of you, but when you think back to what would that person who's successful now look like in my current state, and you aren't that person, guess what needs to change? You. And I sometimes have to say that to myself as well. So like I said, don't believe everything you see on the internet, because we're not perfect.
No.
But yeah, it's these small things that keep us going.
Amazing. Well, I hope this conversation has helped someone, anyone. And thank you so much for coming, guys.
Thank you so much for having us.
Oh, thank you.